Hello there.
Hey guys, Josh Lloyd here. What to watch for the NBA for Wednesday. We've got 10 games on. Let's take a look at it right now. The first game, the Pacers and the Cavs. I want to watch Miles Turner. It's been, after a really hot start, it's been a bit up and down for Miles, and despite some of the successes he does have when he plays as a lone center, we're just seeing the minutes fluctuate a little bit too much, and I think the block numbers are pretty variable also, despite starting off the season as hot as he did. I want to see him get a little bit of a higher dose of usage and playing time, but I'm not holding my breath for that. He only played 28 minutes last game, but he did play 37 2 games ago, so it is a little bit all over the place. We have Doug McDermott and Jeremy Lamb listed questionable. Levert, of course, is out. So if we do have Lamb out again, are we going to get Edmund Sumner, who played 28 minutes last game? Now, some of that was blowout related, but he will be in the rotation. And I thought he looked pretty good. I believe he scored 15 points in that game. It's only just for deeper leagues, but it could be a short-term option if we do have McDermott and Lamb sidelined. For Cleveland, Isaac Okoro, we know that his minutes are relatively solid. And recently, his production had leapt up. Now, last game, it didn't. It was pretty poor. But can he start to put things together offensively? Can he start to bring the defensive stats consistently? Because that's what he's going to require in order to become even close to a 12-team league guy. I want to see how that's developing and where we're at with that with Isaac Okoro. And then Dean Wade probably gets another start at power forward. Taurean Prince might be back. He's listed as questionable here. They're obviously not interested in going with the Discman Chetty Osman as a starting power forward. They're not interested in going with Dylan Windler there. So I think Wade will get another go. He's had 4 starts in a row. They've won 4 in a row. He's played 20 minutes in each of those 4. He's shooting, I think, 50% from 3 in that time. So if you are looking for a short-term streamer, Dean Wade might be someone that you can look at. Next game is the Jazz and the Sixers. The Donovan Mitchell.
He's Don. He's good.
Even with Conley back, we've seen his free throw attempts stay up, and we've seen his assist rate stay up. Is he able to continue to do that? That's going to be a key thing for me here to watch. The efficiency has had some real struggles, but that increase in free throw rate and the increase in assists is what's going to push him to be a better fantasy player. And then Joe Ingles, who was pretty poor last game. I want to see what his numbers look like in a scenario where everyone is healthy and in a game that is likely going to be close. Where does Ingles lie? What does his value look like in this matchup? For the Sixers, the thick hogsman Tobias Harris is questionable. So if he is out, I want to see what Shake Milton's role looks like. Milton put up a pretty good game last time out. He's gathering some extra usage in that scenario with Harris out. Let's see what he's able to do. He's played 30, or since he's returned from injury, Shake has played 29 minutes or more in 4 of the 5 games. Only 19 minutes in that game against the Mavericks, which was a blowout, so everyone sort of limited their playing time there. But he's getting a pretty high role, and I want to see what that means for him. While Seth Curry has been up and down. I think that's fair to say with Seth. He's been a little bit all over the shop. What is he going to be able to do? Can he do anything to convince me that he is must roster for 12-team leagues? I think he's fine to roster, but I don't think that he's a must roster guy there. The Nets and the Rockets. Number 1, I want to watch Nick Claxton because we saw what he did last time out against the Spurs. Now, that's an unrealistic expectation. Steals and blocks and high usage and high efficiency. There is still no Kevin Durant. Jeff Green's not likely to play. Neither is Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot. So he's going to be in the rotation, but how much in the rotation? Are we still going to get 35 minutes of DeAndre Jordan? Is Claxton going to push up in terms of playing time? Because some of his concern was fatigue and conditioning coming back from his knee problem. Let's see what he does. And then, of course, I just want to watch James Harden because he's been dominating. He now goes back to Houston. Last game, he set a record for, most turnovers with no assists in a game. He's been unbelievably good. And I just want to watch him be unbelievably good. For Houston, do they go with Justin Patton as their starting center again? He started the last couple of games. His minutes have been up. How that goes against the DeAndre Jordan, Nick Claxton front court remains to be seen. But what do they view with Patton here with Christian Wood out? And what are they thinking with Jayshawn Tate, the Wild thing? Because Tate's minutes and production have been down. 24, 23, 30 minutes in the last 3 games. Off the bench behind Daniel House. Now, very easily he could go back to start this game, Tate, because House is questionable and Eric Gordon is questionable. But I want to get an idea of where they're valuing Tate, because that's going to give me more of an idea. Tate, because that's going to give me more of an idea of what we do with him as we move forward. Next game is the Pistons and the Raptors. In this game, yes, allegedly it will be taking place. So we're looking at Detroit. Isaiah Stewart, double-digit rebounds in a lot of, I think, 3 of the last 4 games. Cutting into Mason Plumlee's minutes, let's watch how that split looks. Let's see how productive Stewart looks in that playing time and where he becomes an ad. I think he's a strong 16-team ad. I think he's a solid 14-team league ad. And I think he's a 12-team watch list guy. While we're looking at Joshy Jackson for the Pistons, who we know causes problems with your efficiency numbers, but his role is fairly secure as that sixth-man guy off the bench here, scoring, putting up some counting stats, so let's watch him. For the Raptors, we know they're going to be without Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Malachi Flynn, and Patrick McCaw. So that means big minutes for Norman Powell. It means big usage for Norman Powell. He's going to be almost a leader on this team alongside Kyle Lowry. I want to see what he can do. And what does it mean for the wiki Chris Boucher? Does Nick Nurse, Nick Nurse won't be coaching. Sergio, will he be willing to give Boucher 30-plus minutes? Will he start Boucher? Or will it be someone like Yuta Watanabe who starts at power forward and Boucher comes off the bench? Or will they just put Boucher at center with Baines off the bench? How they run this rotation and what it means for Terrence Davis, DeAndre Bembry, Stan Johnson, Watanabe, Matt Thomas, and even Jalen Harris, who they called up and said would play some point guard minutes, is going to be very, very intriguing. The next game, the Hornets and the Wolves. Malik Monk really stepping up at the moment, shooting super efficiently. His three-point shooting's been amazing. His minutes have been pushing up. His usage has been really strong. So let's see whether he can continue to be close to a 12-team league guy, at least in the short term. At this point, Cody Zeller and Gordon Hayward are questionable, and Devontae Graham is out. So there's still plenty of backcourt minutes available there for Monk. What can he do with that? Well, PJ Washington, could you have got a more disparate 2 games swing? 42 points and then 3 points in 2 games in a row. He will have more value, I believe, if Cody Zeller is out. But let's see if he can find some sort of level of consistency. And then for the Wolves, what happens with Jared Vanderbilt? It was rough as shit last game. I would persist with holding him for one more, but I understand not doing it. He's not that super high upside, superstar potential guy. He's not even close to that. What do they decide to do with him? Of course, there's still no Russell or Beasley. I imagine Vanderbilt will start, but will they go back to that heavy Jake Layman type lineups? And how does that impact Vanderbilt's minutes? And I also want to pay more of attention to Anthony Edwards. Yes, he's shitting on your percentages consistently. He's just murdering them, but he's bringing some steals some nights. He gets some assists some nights. He gets some rebounds some nights. What is Edwards doing, and where is he stepping up in this rotation? Next up is the Bulls-Pelicans. Kobe White. He's seen his rebound numbers really start to spike. Now, he still has issues with low assists for a point guard, efficiency problems, but his minutes are fine. His usage is pretty good, and those rebounds are interesting. So he's stepping up a little bit here, while Wendell Carter Jr. has had 2 absolute stinkers in a row. 25 and 23 minutes only. Billy Donovan is absolutely allergic to giving him 30 minutes a night as well. The matchup here against Steven Adams I don't think is too bad, but how's he going to cope when Zion Williamson starts charging into the lane? Now, apparently, Donovan's idea to counter that is put Luke Cornett there or put Thad Young at center. I understand Young because he's an excellent defender. So there is a possibility that if Zion takes over that Wendell is in a little bit of trouble here. So I want to see how that looks. And then for the Pelicans, Eric Bledsoe, it looked like he was done. Like 24 minutes a night, we're just phasing this dude out. And now Van Gundy said, no, let's play him 37 a night instead. So while that's happening, assists, steals, you go and add Bledsoe and we see where it goes. Can that continue? I'm not sure. While Steven Adams is going the other way. His minutes are getting cut for Billy Hernan-Gomez. Now, I don't know whether that's something that's going to happen ongoing, and we might have Van Gundy continuing to change his mind with stuff like this. But I think that Adams' upside is low enough that if you need that roster spot, then he is a droppable player. But I want to watch how that rotation looks between him and Billy. The Hawks and the Magic are back-to-back here for Atlanta. John Collins wasn't particularly great for him. It was a big win for them over the Heat, but minutes low for Collins in the first game under Nate McMillan. I just don't have faith in him becoming that player he was last year. While Kevin Huerter will start once more, but now Bogdan Bogdanovic is back. Now, I'd say it's probably unlikely that Bogdanovic plays on Wednesday on a back-to-back. What does this mean for Huerter's playing time? What does it mean for Huerter's usage when Bogdanovic is back? But I think he gets a reprieve in this one. While for the Orlando Magic, Evan Fournier, he did hurt his groin last game, and I believe he has popped up on the injury report as questionable. Given the fact that he can have some time off here over the break, I wouldn't be surprised to see Fournier sit this one out. We already have ruled James Ennis out, so they'd be having to go with a starting combination of Dwayne Bacon and would they put Terrence Ross in there? They probably would. But let's see Fournier, who's been really good. And as for Ross, he's been all over the place. But 30-plus minutes in 7 of the last 9 games. Been some bad ones in there, but with Fournier maybe out, I think that's an opportunity for a big Terrence Ross game. The Thunder and the Mavs. Ty Jerome. No George Hill. Ty Jerome coming off the bench behind the Salt Flake Theo Maledon. So what can Jerome do here? He's been really good in these 2 games, but how does he carve a role? What does his role look like? Does it impact Maledon? Can he be a useful player in 20 minutes? Could he remain in the rotation for 20 minutes when George Hill comes back? That seems tough to do. It's also going to be important to see how he fits in when MC Hamadou Diallo is back. And at this point, I'm just checking to see whether Diallo is actually out for this Wednesday game. He is out, and Diallo will be out until the All-Star break. So Jerome gets that extra opportunity. I think Darius Bazley is someone we've got to watch as well. The minutes are fine for Bazley. He gets 30 a night almost every night. He just has these shit-house shooting nights, and he doesn't do enough in other areas to compensate for that. But I do think that it's not a bad spot here for him against Dallas. And as for the Mavs, Jalen Brunson continues to play well as the best bench guard ahead of Tim Hardaway, playing better than Josh Richardson. He's definite 14-team league guy, and can he be a 12-team league player? Let's see if he can continue these minutes, this usage, and this production. While Maxi Kleber had a massive one for the Mavericks last game. Let's see, can he keep up? I don't expect the steals to stick, but can he keep the blocks and the threes going? Because that's where his value can be derived. The Warriors and the Blazemans? No, the Blazers. I'm talking about Andy Wiggins because his numbers have been shithouse in February. Really, really poor shooting numbers. I would still be holding him in 12-team leagues. I imagine there's going to be some sort of step up from there. His block numbers also tailed off. I'm expecting a bounce back from him. And I also want to watch the Blunty, James Wiseman. Where are you now? I think they'll keep him in under 20 minutes. I think he'll have some questionable decisions. I think he'll be high usage, and maybe that can help him. But I want to see where we're seeing improvement from Wiseman. Are we seeing improvement from Wiseman? And where is his path to 25 minutes? Because at the moment, it's not there. For the Blazers, Derek Jones Jr., we're watching him for his rotation role. Harry Giles is out, so he should be a 30-minute-a-night guy. He can be 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks, 65% field goals. That's what Derek Jones brings, and the opportunity for big minutes is there again. While Gaz Trent Jr., he's sort of just settling into what he does. He goes out there, he plays big minutes, he takes a lot of shots, he misses a lot of them most nights, and he scores well and doesn't do too much else. And that has value, of course, but I don't really see where he's developing everything else. So let's see, are there any sparks? Is there anything in his playmaking? Can he start doing stuff defensively on the stat sheet? Can he start bringing in big rebounds? I'm highly doubtful of all that stuff, though. Last game of the night is the Lakers and the Kings. They had to start Montrezl Harrell on Tuesday because Marc Gasol and Anthony Davis and then Kyle Kuzma were all out. So how does Harrell's role look if those guys... I'd imagine Mark is out. We don't know that. He's out for health and safety protocols. Kuzma was out with a heel issue. So does Harrell play 35 minutes? What do they do with Damian Jones? And then Markieff Morris. With Kuzma out, with Davis out, he's going to have to play a lot. But can he handle that on a back-to-back? It depends, I guess, on Kuzma's status here. For the Kings, Tyrese Halliburton and Hassan Whiteside are out again. So we're going to get another big Marvin Bagley game, most likely. He'll put up points. He'll put up rebounds, but can he keep that improved efficiency up? Because it's been really good, and he's been blocking shots at a nice rate. He's worthwhile stream for this day at least. While De'Aaron Fox, really having some issues with his efficiency at the moment. We love what Fox does in terms of energy. We love what he can do in terms of generating steals and being a high usage player, but the efficiency is really biting you in the ass at the moment. So let's see if we get any sort of resolution to that. We'll see what his usage looks like also, because Buddy Hield is questionable in this game. And if Hield is out, then a lot more shots are going to have to go towards De'Aaron Fox. Stream options for category leagues: Michael Carter-Williams, Bruce Brown Jr., the Shark, Baby Shark, Justin Patton, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Maxi Kleber. They can be stream options. And for points leagues, we're looking at Carter-Williams, Bazley, Bruce Brown, Dennis Smith, and Justin Patton. Guys, that will do it for me today. Don't forget to subscribe: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube. This one's only on YouTube though, so give it a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, leave a comment down below, guys. We are done here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.